Yeah, Peggy girl, you know God gonna get you for writing this book, right? I don't know, girl. Your body may end up face down in a river somewhere, girl. You might want to be careful. Is she still alive? Have they got her yet? Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue talking about Jackson family values. Joseph, of course, was another problem, but not in the way I had anticipated. I originally had thought he would be a constant interference in the production, insisting on putting his ideas into play. And he probably would have had it not been for LaToya. After she got done exposing his alleged abuse to children, he was walking around with his tail between his legs. He took off for Las Vegas and stayed put. The larger problem was the $3 million judgment that was still hanging over Joseph's head from his lawsuit with Gary Berwin. I told you, they may not be the drug dealers, but they got that mentality. Right, you know how they do. Put everything in the females' names, then that way won't nothing get garnished. You know what I'm saying? So all the money was handled by Catherine. The task of getting each of the family members to sign the contracts authorizing their life rights failed to me. I carried the deal from Reby to Tito to Randy, Randy to Jackie, Jackie to Jermaine, and Catherine handled Michael and Janet. In return for signing off on their life rights, Michael and Janet, through their attorneys, had made several demands. For example, they wanted approval of the script, the screenwriter, the director, and the actors who would portray them in the miniseries. And Michael insisted that someone beautiful play his mother. We agreed, they signed. You basically couldn't get no better than Angela Bassett. Have y'all seen her lately? That lady is fucking beautiful. I don't know if she had a facelift. I don't know. And it don't look like Botox. I don't know, y'all. It's like the lady, her skin is, I don't know, y'all. She's like a vampire. Eventually, Catherine had to make a trip to Marlon's home and reason with him to sign the contracts. When she returned, she was upset. Marlon had signed, but only after Catherine had begged him to cooperate. This is money for Joseph and me to grow old with, Marlon, she later told me she had said to Marlon, tears pouring down her face. She couldn't believe she had to beg her own child to do what was right and fair. Marlon got bills. When Jermaine heard about it, he called Marlon sneaky, adding, you and Marlon, y'all sneaky. Peggy, because you a Pisces, and so is Marlon. Y'all sneaky. Y'all know I'm a Libra sun, Pisces moon. I was living on the defense constantly, having to explain my every move to each of the various family members. During production of the miniseries, I had to promise to fax them changes and show them the bookkeeping. People were always calling to find out when they would get more money. The amount of hand-holding that was required was endless. The Jacksons just weren't able to trust one another. She said that in the beginning. Here comes Mother's Day. You know how them Sagittarians are. If they can't earn, learn, or grow from you, they don't need you. Hence why he married the Hazel Goldie. Okay? Every woman he married contributed to his life's progression in some way or another. Okay? So anyway, here come Mother's Day. Jermaine like, ooh, shit. This daggone Margaret worth something. She got some brains up here. I might want to marry her. Mother's Day, he's saying, Peggy, let's get married. And on top of that, I want to plug you with another baby. Margaret like, you can't pay for the kids you got now. But enough was enough. And I told him so. Jermaine was not pleased and let me know in any number of ways. The most obvious was a change in his manner of speaking to me. Where he was once civil, he became caustic. Where he was once sweet, he became acerbic. The further we got into the miniseries, the nastier the words became. I was emotionally out from under his thumb. The sting of that realization on Jermaine's part was compounded by another hit by his famous brother, Jay. Michael, who had stolen his glory with Dangerous, had one-upped Jermaine again. The headline read, Michael Jackson crowned as king in Africa. The man behind the headline, Omar Bongo, former husband of Madam. Michael had agreed to go on tour of Gabon at the invitation of the president and was met by more than 100,000 cheering fans. More people turned out to greet him than had greeted the Pope or Nelson Mandela. After shooting Wrapped in Pittsburgh in late May, the production company returned to Los Angeles, where we spent another couple of months filming in Encino. It was decided that we should shoot the actual exterior of the Havenhurst house to give the miniseries as much authenticity as possible. No cameras were allowed inside the house. However, for interiors, we used another home in the neighborhood. As soon as we returned to California, Jermaine had taken up his telephone vigil once again with Leah Bongo, who was still in exile in the far recesses of Africa. He felt my lack of interest in her. After his continual goading, though, I finally agreed to speak with her. I did have concern for Leah. I thought she had the potential to succeed and help her countrymen, and that it was unfair she had been forced back to Africa by Madam. She'd stay out of it. When I spoke with Leah on the telephone, she said that she had her tuition money and that a living situation was the only thing preventing her from returning to LA. In an effort to prove to Jermaine that I was capable of being a good and caring friend, I went to Catherine and asked her if she would mind if Leah moved in the guest room of Havenhurst for a few weeks until she could find a permanent place. I explained about the potential at UCLA and expressed my support for her education. Catherine had no idea who the hell Leah Bongo was, but agreed that Leah could move in temporarily as a favor to me. She made some sort of comment about too many hens in a hen house, which at the time went right over my head. Any day now, I was expecting Bongo to return to UCLA for the summer semester. Weeks turned into months, and Leah had yet to begin school. When I would question her about it, she would always have a response ready. At first, it was that classes were getting ready to begin. That soon changed to a period where she was enrolling, following by a request for money to buy books. After Catherine donated $700 to the Leah Book Fund, I still didn't see any movement out the front door. Leah's next excuse was that she didn't have a way to get to UCLA from Encino. I personally can't understand the fucking problem either. Because like I told you, I'm a DC kid. Baby, if we didn't walk there, we caught the bus there. Now, I don't know about these buses now. Because I done told you that it's a treacherous event getting on the buses in certain areas of DC. Yeah, I don't understand. Bitch, you ain't got no friends. I mean, you Leah Bongo. You can't steal a bus pass? I mean, we use a known thief. I personally couldn't understand the problem. I told Jermaine I was certain there was some sort of shuttle bus running to the campus. Exactly. My BFF runs a company that specifically caters to different universities and colleges so that the kids would have a way to get to school. Child, and they come from all different ends of the universe. All you got to do is just show your college ID. I even offered to give Leah a lift to some drop-off spot. The reaction I received was a bit over the top, even for Jermaine. "You are the worst friend," he shouted. What, girl? He dismissed my suggestion as if I had expected Leah to walk the 20 miles. Jermaine's solution was to ask Catherine for the use of the BMW for Leah. Child, the BMW is a car that just be over there when all the other cars be in the shop. I called the UCLA admissions office to inquire if Leah Bongo was registered at the Petroleum Engineering and International Business major. I was told no Leah Bongo was registered. That's a concern. How you just call the registers or admissions or whoever and just get that information? That's dangerous. Suppose I was a killer. Suppose I was some kind of mad, crazed maniac that liked to find thieving Gabonian sisters and steal their purse or something. I asked if she was enrolled in the UCLA extension program and was again told no. I tried not to think about it until one day in August I had happened to see Leah while driving on Ventura Boulevard in the San Fernando Valley, smack in the middle of what should have been her school day. I told Jermaine. Not only was he not convinced Leah had been deceiving us, but he also didn't seem that interested, even if it was true. By this time, the miniseries had finished shooting and had entered the editing and sound mixing stages. My plate was full enough without having to worry about whatever it was Leah was doing. If no one else cared, why should I? Catherine came to me one day after work and told me she didn't like what was going on between Leah and Jermaine. She didn't like it at all. It looked real bad, Margaret, she explained to me. He's always in her bedroom. They're always together. The help is starting to talk. The security guards are laughing, and you're going around like you don't care. I almost admitted to her that I didn't care. Girl, I dig it. Niggas, I'm about to give you the 411 on how us women work. Even you bulldaggers. You know me. Depending on what day it is. You don't need to be worried when we questioning y'all about your infidelities. It's when we don't question you that you need to be worried. On to Jesus. He told me that Leah was now his assistant and to mind my own business. Okay, you ain't saying nothing but a word. When I brought up the subject of school, I was told that Leah was too smart for college, that her talents were being wasted there. She was going to be more than just a permanent house guest. Yeah, she was going to be the Jackson. I said it. Y'all hold tight. Having their life story shown on television was an unsettling event for the Jacksons. As the various members of the family began to see dailies of the still unassembled miniseries, they would react with a plethora of wide-ranging emotions. Seeing the actors reenact segments of their lives brought back all the love, the pain, the anticipation, the heartache, and in several cases, the anguish, and memories came flooding back.